You know who I am, boy? Yeah. You're like the Justin Timberlake of Japan, right? Living at the time, there was actually a fire. You know what DK means? Donkey Kong. So this was basically the final form of my R34 Skyline. So I had drift. What do you mean drift? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Sean, and in today's video, I've got a special one for you. I am going to reveal my #1 JDM car that I have ever owned. So this is a 3-part series, and in the other 2 videos, if you haven't seen those yet, I reveal my other top 19 cars that I've ever owned. So go check that one out first. But in this one, I'm gonna reveal my best car that I've ever owned. So before we go ahead and look into the future in this build with this Skyline, I thought it would be pretty cool to take a trip down memory lane and check out my best JDM legend I have owned. So at #1 on this list is my 1998 R34 Skyline GTT. So yes, I have owned another one in the past, and it was hands down the favorite car, the best car that I've ever owned. So the story behind this one is, this was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. This was before COVID, so a lot of the JDM cars were cheaper, especially a lot cheaper here in New Zealand. And I picked this one up for about $17,500. I saw it on Trade Me. I went to go have a look at it. I knew straight away this is the Skyline that I've always been waiting for growing up. You know, I always watched Too Fast, Too Furious, or the Fast and Furious franchise, and seeing Brian's Skyline in that second one always inspired me and wanted to own a Skyline for myself one day. So the GTRs are crazy expensive, and obviously the GTT is the next best thing. So when I had a look at it, it was pretty much everything that I was looking for. It had done low Ks, it was suited for aftermarket adjustable suspension, and I ended up getting a pretty good deal on there. I tried to negotiate him down, but unfortunately he knew what he had, and he was only really willing to take asking price. So I used all my tricks. I tried to get it for cheaper, but unfortunately I had to pay asking price on that one, but I still did get a pretty good deal. So once I picked that up, I was straight into it. You know, I got that itch. I wanted to modify it straight away. Who wants to keep it stock? You know what I mean? So I wanted to turn it into a full-blown show car. So the first order of things was the body kit and the wheels. So I ended up picking up a set of 18-inch DK TBC rims. These were pretty aggressive. I ended up getting these for about $1,200. The black on black look I really liked on this car. So I went ahead and I chucked those on, and then I ordered a brand new kit. So I don't know, threw away the stock stuff. Who wants that? No one likes stock. So I went ahead, I bought a new fiberglass kit. So that was a new front bumper, a new bonnet, front guard, side skirts, rear bumper, the whole shebang. I bought it all. I spent a couple of grand on this kit. I did do quite a bit of the sanding and molding myself, but I did get a painter to do some of it as well. So this was a pretty cool kit at the time. I was happy with this kit, but it wasn't the real GTR kit. But at the time, I was happy enough that it was somewhat like a GTR replica. So I got this kit fitted. I was pretty happy. It transformed the car totally. I also got the GTR rear spoiler. So I had the car basically all kitted out. It was pretty much a GTR replica on the outside. It was still only running a factory RB25 det, making factory power at that time as well. So the next order of things was to increase that power. So I took it to ST High Tech, a performance place up in Auckland who specialize in performance vehicles. They upgraded quite a few things on the engine to be able to make more power. They upgraded the internals on the turbo to Steve Murch aftermarket internals. They upgraded the fuel system, injectors, all that sort of thing. Put it on a front mount and a Link G4 so they could tune it. So once they tuned it, it made about 275 kilowatts, so that's 350 horsepower. probably at the time one of the fastest cars I had ever owned. And when I drove out of the shop and then I boosted it down the street, I was like, holy shit, like I had the biggest smile on my face, like ear to ear, the biggest grin, and I was absolutely loving it. Like I was in love, just hearing that turbo sound, hearing that blow-off valve, that nice RB rumble. It was honestly like a dream come true. It was nice to have the full kit and then with the power to match. And I wanted to get it running right. I wanted to take it to track days and stuff. So I had the kit done, it was making really good power, and it was then time to enjoy it. So I took it to a bunch of track days here at Hampton Downs. They have a really cool track there, and you know, it was fun just to take it on the track, give it a good thrash, and like just enjoy it. And honestly, I loved it on the track, sort of having no speed limit, racing against other guys, and you know, I loved it. Once I had fitted this first kit, the place that I was living at the time, there was actually a fire that occurred during one night when we were sleeping. I had a bunch of friends over, we were just having a good time, and then we went to bed and we woke up and there was a fire. And luckily one of my friends actually woke up to the smoke alarm and he woke everyone up, and we all got outside in time, but there was a massive fire at the back of the house. Now my Skyline was parked out the back in the carport. There was a van next to it, and unfortunately the van caught fire, and so did my Skyline, but the Skyline had a car cover over it. Now luckily the car cover was the only part that really caught fire. There was a bit of melted paint on the bonnet. It did cause a bit of damage on the bonnet and the headlight, but it survived the fire. So I was very fortunate, very lucky for the Skyline to survive the fire, but the house on the other hand was, the back half of the house was completely destroyed, and we ended up moving out. And at the end of the day, everyone was okay, everyone got out all right. So the main thing was no one was hurt and we all survived. So yeah, the Skyline essentially survived a fire. So after a while, I think some of you guys will know with doing builds, you get bored. I think a really cool part of the journey of the build is obviously the journey, doing it up, and not so much the destination. So I got that itch again to just want to work on it, to make it better, and that's when I decided, right, I'm going to do the full GTR kit, the proper GTR kit. So I went ahead again and I spent another couple of grand on a full kit. So I got the proper GTR front bumper as well as the front lip. I got a new set of aftermarket fenders with the vent coming down the side here. Obviously left the side skirts the same and the rear bumper, but I also did have on the back the R32 diffuser, which not many R34s have, but it does look really nice on the R34, so I had that as well. And to complete the look, I wanted to go with a big style wing. I think I like being different, I like standing out, and I don't want to be like everybody else, so I decided to go with a big wing, and I actually made that one myself, the brackets anyway. I made the brackets myself, and I just bought a carbon fiber GT wing. So with the front bumper and the guards, I actually did that all myself. I spent hours at home, late nights, molding that and getting it perfect to fit on the car, and as well as the spoiler. So once I had the kit painted and it was all ready to go, this was basically the final form of my R34 Skyline. So I had the full GTR kit. I ended up putting a front splitter on the front, just underneath the front lip to really complete the front end look, and then I had the big Country Labs wing on the back, and this was its final form. This is how I kept it. And honestly, I was so stoked with how it looked. It looked sick. Like, if you know Skylines, if you own a Skyline, you know just how good of a feeling it is to own one. I absolutely loved the way that it looked, and I was actually finally happy with the look of the car. And it was at that point, like, I just took it to as many shows as I can. I took it to as many track days I can, and I just really enjoyed it. I wanted to feel that power. I wanted to feel the buzz of being at shows, and you know, I would always get compliments, I always get people coming up to me and talking to me. It got so much attention, and that's just all part of it, right? I mean, that's I put a lot of hard work, a lot of time, and a lot of money into this build, and it was time to enjoy it, and I really did. And honestly, yeah, it was hands down the best car that I've ever owned. And everyone knows that Skylines are iconic. Growing up, everyone wanted to be just like Brian in their Skyline, and the R34 is probably one of the most iconic cars in the world. So I was lucky enough to buy that, build it up, and have one to myself. But eventually, all good things come to an end. At the time, I did have a newborn baby, and I had another daughter. I had kids and a family, and I decided that it was time to sell it. I had to move on. I was running low on money, and I needed that money back for other investments and just to take care of my family. So I made the tough decision to sell this car, unfortunately. But I did get a pretty good price for it back in the day. I ended up selling it for $37,500. So I bought it for $17,500. You know, I did spend probably about 20 grand on it. So I spent at least 12 grand on performance mods, the tune, and that stuff. And then I also spent, yeah, probably another 8 grand on the kit, paint, other cosmetic stuff, and other performance upgrades as well. So I ended up getting my money back, which is all right. But that car now would probably be worth 50K plus if I held onto it. But hey, no one knew COVID was gonna happen, right? So that's the beauty of hindsight. But I ended up getting a pretty good price for it, and it was incredibly tough to see it drive away.
There it goes.
Wow. I nearly shed a tear, but yeah, it was bittersweet because, you know, I didn't want to see it go, but I had to move on to other things. I had a family at the time, and I just wasn't using it as much as I was before I had kids, so I had to let it go, and that was a sad moment. But here we are now. This is my next chance at another R34 build. So once I sold that after it, you know, I did kind of regret it. There was a part of me that just really missed that car. Obviously, it was such a sick car, and I did miss just going out, hearing those turbo noises, taking for a spin, just getting all the attention and stuff. I missed it. And I didn't think I would own another one ever, just because the prices have skyrocketed so much since then. And I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna find a cheap one again. The prices are just too high. But you know, it's funny how things work that way. I ended up getting pretty lucky getting this deal. So this is my next chance to build another R34 and relive my dream of having an R34 Skyline. So I don't know if I'll ever sell this one. Who knows what the future holds, but if you guys are interested in this build, definitely subscribe to the channel, and you guys will come along on this journey, whereas in the other one, I didn't document it. I wasn't on YouTube, so I think this time around, I want to do it a little bit different. I want to share it with you guys, and hopefully you guys liked my #1 pick for the best JDM car that I've ever owned. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of my R34 Skyline. Let me know what you think, what you liked about it, what you didn't like, and let me know what you thought about my top 20 list. This isn't all the cars that I've ever owned. I've owned over 100 cars, but these were the only pictures I could really find on my phone. So I do have a bunch of other cars that I've owned. I just don't have photos of them, unfortunately. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I hope you enjoyed the #1 car on my list. I really love you guys' support. Really do appreciate it. Help me get this one done just as nice as my old R34 Skyline. I need your guys' support. Go ahead, subscribe for me. Do me a little favor, and we'll see you in this one here. Thanks, guys. Do you know what DK means? Donkey Kong. I don't care if you're sick as a dog or in bed with Beyonce. I call you show. You know who I am, boy? Yeah. You're like the Justin Timberlake of Japan, right? You're representing me now. What do you think? I'm gonna let you roll in Hyundai? You know, I almost didn't recognize you without your slippers on. Don't you mean Wabaki? Drift? What do you mean, drift? It does the job. Doing what? Delivering pizzas? It's not the ride. It's the rider. You know what? Just don't mess up Mona, all right?